to land change?
I did not.
Okay.
Did you?
I talked to him this morning, finally.
Oh, okay.
All right, but it's not on the agenda, so.
Gotta get that. It's gonna be going, eh? Or is that going already?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Anybody look over the minutes?
Yes, I did. The revised ones especially.
Great.
Yep, I changed Courtney's name in there.
Motion.
Yep.
Hey,
And I'll set that.
okay, all in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. And we're gonna wait, well, wait a minute, let's hit the part-time hire courthouse security.
Okay.
That
So
handy?
I already got them. There's a position
Okay.
description in the back.
Thomas Kinsley.
It's all through the sheriff's department.
Yep. You wanna look at it?
So it's part-time, so we don't do the others.
Yep.
You need a motion to approve that.
Yes, I do.
You got it.
Okay. Second, all in favor of approving the part-time hire of Thomas Kinsley of a wage of $17.91 per hour.
All right.
Aye. Approved. Okay, then how about, the taxes on parcel?
Yep, so you can't talk about the name.
Yep.
but Personal number, they are approved to be on assistance and all that, so they qualify to have their taxes suspended. So they reached out to me Friday and I checked with DHS, so I got the paperwork. So if you wanna suspend their taxes, and what that does is then once that estate sells or ownership of the property, they have to get those taxes brought up to current.
And it's all of them, correct?
From the time we suspend it till, yeah. So,
Yeah, we've done this in the past.
yep, so I just need a motion, and it's pursuant to Iowa Code 427.9.
Okay, Gary, motion.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor of suspending the taxable in parcel number 3044875?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
We didn't tell him you were coming in.
I snuck in on you.
I said, I didn't know he was all coming, but.
Very well, everything else is timed item. We got a few minutes, reports. Gary?
Don't have it.
Rick?
And then development last Wednesday, Melody was there. So, it was good to see her at that. And that's pretty well all I had.
I had Easy Cog last Thursday. Not much going on there again, I guess. Just same old, same old. They will be sending us a letter, I guess, for the Housing Trust Fund. They would like to get some of the, what's the abbreviation of the federal tax dollars we're gonna get? ARC?
The ARP.
Yeah, the ARP. They would like to get some of that on the grounds they would be in charge of helping fix up houses in Benton County. So,
How many are they gonna fix up?
as much money as we give them. They'd be in charge. They would take care of, the applications would go to them. they'd be in charge of getting a contractor and everything lining up, so,
I just got another final ruling on some of that, so I'll probably be sending you guys
good,
some of those,
good,
and then we'll start having some meetings.
okay.
Cause I thought maybe the department heads could brainstorm and fill out some of their wish list
Yep.
type thing, get some quotes, ideas, and then start planning for that.
Okay, okay.
Isn't that supposed to be for tax relief, basically?
Yes, but it's still part of the COVID relief as well. So
Okay,
there's stipulations on what it can be used for and how you describe that it's
Sure.
due to COVID or lack of revenue coming in because of the COVID last year and all that stuff. So
okay,
there's
all right.
lots of stipulations and reportings that we have to do on it.
Okay. Melody Snow.
That's me. I just came to request use of the courthouse lawn fest, August 28th. We won't be using very much of it, we just like probably have a couple of tables, information, and people will probably be walking through there, sitting at some of the tables and stuff that are around.
That's on September 11th, right?
No, 28th.
28th, August 28th. What's
For
September
Boom
11th?
Fest,
Okay.
which will be downtown. We've got the street closed.
Because they already got permission to use the courthouse lawn, I believe, for Boomtown. Well, that was for the 5K, wasn't it? Okay.
Okay, so the 5K.
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's,
So this is an addition.
so I just want to make sure that we're good, that if Benton Unlimited wants to set up a table for, make sure they're kind of a go-to spot for vendors if they need help or whatever. And if we want to set up anything else, I mean, if we've debated about doing like a bag toss or something, maybe we would use the lawn for that as well. That's not for sure, but, I mean, it would just be little things like that. We're not gonna have anything major and on it. Might have a canopy, like just a tent on, just for some blocking from the sun.
In the past, you made them fill out an application, didn't
Well,
you?
you guys have, yep. If you want her to fill one out, we can get that from her, but
I would say to make it fair all the way around, should make an application out, but myself, I have no problem.
because the vendors are gonna be down in the streets, right?
Yeah, they're in the streets.
So this would just be you guys setting up on our lawn.
Yeah, it would just be us and, I mean, there'll be people that'll, I'm sure will be milling around,
Mhm.
but, you know,
I can send you that form if you don't have it.
yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
So you wanna pre-approve it, do that, and she'll have to come back, or what do you wanna do?
that would work for me, work for you. Do I have a
So
motion
moved.
from one of you guys? Okay, got a second?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all in favor, approving Melody Snow? Go ahead.
Aye.
Aye. Rick?
Yeah, I said aye.
Okay,
Alright,
You got her.
yeah.
Thanks, so a minute, don't need to.
That'd be
Perfect,
good.
thank you, appreciate it.
Let's see.
sitting wait.
Everything's pretty much timed. I can bring up that. Jerry Petermeyer stopped in
Yeah.
yesterday. He had, you know how they paved their parking lot at the Cedar Valley Ranch about 5 years ago? And it's needing to be seal coated. So he's brought in a proposal for $5,219.72. And just kind of wanted you guys' blessing on that before he signed it and went forward with it.
So moved.
I mean, well, it's not on the agenda, but it's just basically a quote. It's under the threshold,
Yeah,
so.
we can't vote on it, but we
Yeah.
can give him our
You can
blessings,
give him a
can't we?
blessing. He said he's gonna plan for a future meeting with you guys coming up after their audit's done to see where
Okay.
they're financially standing, so.
Okay,
But he just, this asphalt company kinda gives them a short notice that they'll be around.
yep, yep.
So,
Well, Gary's saying it's okay. I'll say it's okay.
Then so will I.
Okay. We're all saying okay, but not officially.
yep, I'll let him know. It's just a quote, so. You'll say officially when you pay the bill.
Best thing to do is take care of the stuff.
Well, and that's what, this is new pavement.
Best thing to do is take care of the stuff that we got.
I think it's every 5 years they wanna do that to it, maybe?
Yeah,
Does that sound right?
yep, that'd be about right. How's Mark today?
I'm okay, how are you?
Good.
Good deal.
Sorry.
Hi, Haley.
Mark, have you heard anything when you want that last week's back on? The tabled land use last week?
Anytime you go through.
You got something scheduled for next week too? Nope.
No, next week's pretty
Pretty light?
quiet. One thing I do want to mention to you guys do need to think about your representative for the compensation board.
Okay.
'Cause Bob Hanson was the one, and his term expired in June 30th of 21, so. Before
Does
you
he
guys
want
have
it
your
again?
meeting, I don't know, you'll have to talk to him maybe, or, but you guys,
I do not know Bob Hanson, so.
I think that was Todd's. But just to be thinking
know
about
Bob
it
Hanson?
before I put it on the agenda.
I do.
Okay.
You want Bob,
Rick?
so I can email him and ask him if he's still willing, and then I'll put it on the agenda.
Okay, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then as for, let's do that next week then, instead of let them people hanging.
Sure.
This is the people from Walford again,
You wanna
that
do
we tabled, Rick.
9:15?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, put it
I,
on 9:15.
we'll talk about it more next week, but I was down there Thursday. I was down there Thursday. I looked it all over. Yeah. We'll let it go for now.
Yep.
Okay, Mark, go ahead and start in.
I've had you fill out an application for a change in land use from Lonnie Williams of Urbana. Mr. Williams would like to change the use of 2 acres of land for the northwest quarter of the southeast quarter, section 6, 85-9 of the Fulton Township. In the southwest corner of the intersection, 56th Street Drive and 28th Avenue Drive. It is right up here in the corner. 56th Street Drive, 28th Avenue Drive. The total parcel, parent parcel is 16.89 acres in size, and it's owned by Mr. Williams and his wife Lori. What they want to do here is construct a new dwelling on the site. The building site and driveway have already been cleared of trees somewhat, as you can see by the photographs that's attached here. And there also is a driveway that's been installed there. As far as the technical review goes, the land that we're looking at is not in production, has not been in production. There's the majority of the property is covered with trees. It's very mature stand of trees, as you can see. The soil that's there is mostly a loam, has slopes that are less than 5%. And the CSR of the site, even though it's not relevant, but the soil that it's sitting on is good land. It's 87 CSR, but it's not been in production for years. The first photograph that we gave you shows you there is a new driveway there. It's been installed on the property. It sits on the south side of 56th Street Drive. And Randy notes in his report that the driveway is in total compliance with the driveway policy. I had mentioned to you that both of the roads that this sits near, both of those roads end up being level B roads. As you go west from that driveway, and then as you go south on 28th Avenue Drive, both of those roads are level B roads. So there is not much traffic in this particular vicinity right here. It was mentioned in Randy's report, though, that is relevant to the Williamses, is that, could be snowed in for a couple of days out here at this location. Life in the country. There is no existing water source or sewer system on this site. Obviously, we're going to need to put in a new septic system and a well, if indeed you approve this application, with them building a new home. As is our custom here, this soil type, it's a loam soil. It can have issues as far as permeability, and so we like to mention, just so that the applicant knows particularly, and you know as well, that we may end up looking at an alternative type septic system here. That typically is no issue or roadblock to building, because we have alternatives available to us that work really well. Obviously, a new water well would be needed here, and we see no issues with the construction of a water well here. There's plenty of room to get separation distance between the well and the septic system both. The site here is completely surrounded by row crop at this point in time. There's no immediate use of any livestock in the area that we could see. We notified 6 adjacent property owners of this request. Also, of course, the newspapers of Benton County, as we're required to by the ordinance. We did not receive any calls concerning the request in advance of today's hearing. One adjacent property owner that we did notify is here, Roger Slarbaum. As far as how we see this, as far as our plan and the ordinance, we don't see this causing any problems with any surrounding farm operations in the area. Frankly, we don't see it causing problems for anyone else either, the way that it's located there. The site is completely not visible from the road due to the large grove of trees that are around it. He's just created a clearing within it so that he could build his new home. So we don't see any issues whatsoever with this project. Any questions?
None here.
Roger, anything you want to say?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you look at that brown map that Mark gave you, you'll see that I own the farm on the southeast side of this tract of ground. And we are subservient for water. Then this property has on the west side some springs that go up along there, and the water most of the time is too dry now, but usually comes down, crosses that level B road into my road, and it's no problem. This road, this location would be a perfect place to build a house, a great place to live, and I'm supporting the petition. I ask that you approve it because it's not going to be a problem. It's going to be an asset to the community as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So moved.
We have first, do we have a second to approve?
I will second that.
Okay, all in favor of granting the land application change for Lonnie Williams?
Aye.
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 Great, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Haley.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Rick. So that's 9:15?
Yep.
Thanks.
We already approved your part-time hire.
Thank you very much. I was gonna be here just in case no one knew who Tom was.
We don't. I don't
Oh.
anyway.
I do, but I didn't really tell him that, so.
He's a retired state trooper,
Okay,
so he's well qualified.
good.
When is he willing to start?
I think he's gotta get noticed, but
Yep.
soon. I think I set out, for him to begin in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Where's he live?
Urbana,
Okay.
Is he a state trooper now?
no, he retired a year ago. Was looking for a part-time job,
Cool. Part-time,
part-time.
part-time.
And he'll be able to still get his license.
That's right.
Yeah.
Part-time 5 days a week, 8 hours a day?
He doesn't want that. He's
Oh,
looking for maybe
okay.
1 or 2 days a week, and that's it.
Okay.
Hi, Ben.
Morning.
Never knew I could watch the clock tick.
Paint dry, grass
Some of these,
grow.
if you had a land use hearing, and I'd put 15 minutes and they go over an hour and a half.
Yep. No,
Hard
you're
to
all right.
judge.
You're all right. We don't need to initial this? or
Yes, please.
We do?
Yep,
All-
I'll put it in the file.
Both of
then.
us?
Just you is fine.
Just me? Okay,
Thank you.
yep.
Oh, yes, you did have effective August 14th.
Gotta try to be kind to
You do.
Nancy, so she doesn't have to try to create employee and payroll in one day.
Yeah.
How they coming on the new trucks, on the lights and the radios?
Still getting figured out.
Really?
Trying to minimize the cost as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So generally what we do with this, we used to do with the squad cars is you pull out, center consoles and you put the radio mounts in. We're trying to come up with alternatives so we don't have to spend as much money for
Brackets?
consoles and
Okay.
brackets.
Okay.
I have all those titles and stuff. Do you want us to send it in to the state for you?
That would be wonderful.
Because it's on Nancy's. I wanted to make sure we had them insured last week, so I'll see what's on
Thank you.
How long will it be till they're done?
Not quite sure.
There's a big backlog on the stickers from the state.
The stickers are 4 to 6 weeks out,
Yeah.
so they don't have any in stock right now.
So when I talked to Ron last week, I think it was, when I was there, I mentioned just get the radios and lights on them and get them on the road.
We're gonna try.
Nice looking trucks.
I cannot believe the deal Dodge is making on those things.
Yeah, but they're 2 years old, so.
I told Ron I'd give him 31,
I wouldn't mind driving one.
and neither would I. I mean, you couldn't find a used pickup that cheap.
No. The only thing, you can't haul much with them, you know what I mean, cause of them side boxes, but they'd be just as good as a Tahoe.
That's a good look.
We're killing time, Ben. We got a time item for you.
I like
so-
your shirt. Is that an old one or a new one?
I think it's an old one. My grandfather-in-law used to drive the athletes for the Olympics, so he
Oh,
got
really? Cool.
like Connex box full of free stuff, and so half of my wardrobe is freeze-free, I say. If it fits. They used to have an official, all the skiers had the official winter jacket. And I'd wear that in college, and I did, some people come up, oh my gosh, are you part of the Olympic team?
Yes, I was.
I was alternate on the bobsled team. Oh, that's so cool.
How they coming on the bridge at Blairstown?
Good, their head is good.
Good.
Wanting to, well, the crew that's out there right now is ahead, and now they need a subcontractor to come in and tie steel for the deck. So it's just a matter if they can get here sooner or not.
Mm.
They poured cement yesterday. I was there. Yeah, they got the two back walls poured.
So no deck yet.
People fast though.
People in Blairstown are anxious to have it done. I'll put it that way. That bridge east of town isn't in real good shape, across the railroad tracks. You want to hit that about 55 mile an hour or a little better, and then you get a new pickup.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I learned when I first took this job, was that crossing.
It's scheduled to be redone, I guess.
Is it?
As soon as they get the bridge done at Blairstown.
Oh, so now it's our fault, huh?
Well, I live northwest of town, and one day, well, we don't go east of town, we go west of town to town, and I live in town. So one day there was a guy out there, and I pulled him, I stopped and talked to him about that. He went over and looked at it. And I went over there, and he was there. He was scheduling it immediately,
Yeah.
but somebody put a kibosh to it to get it, because it's the official detour. Anyway, it's on the schedule to get redone.
Okay, Ben, go ahead and start in.
Okay, well, this is pretty simple. This is south of Shellsburg on the blacktop, and the intersection is the road going to Palo. The purpose of why I am doing this is that the landowner, which would be on the northeast corner, they were just, I don't know if they're willing to sell it or what, but they wanted a survey to get done. So the surveyor came in, surveyor calls our office and says, well, fences look a little goofy, could you double check the right of way? So I did. And that's when I came across page 3. This is the way the road used to be. There used to be a curve there. This is going to Palo. And then if you go back one page, you'll see that we actually did construct the curve there. Now, our forefathers, whether they meant to do this or not, that land did not revert back. So as you know, it's a three-way stop now. That land did not revert back to the landowner. But you can see here, it just says T intersection, three-way stop. Whether they thought that the county would hold on that right away if we're going to do a project in the future or not, but obviously that hasn't been the case, and they're thinking probably let the future take care of it. If they're it never comes up. But all the landowner wants to do is just to alleviate any ambiguity in their title. It's just house cleaning. So vacating that little small part, and you see they have trees and fences there already. So, and well, for darn near 7 years, the county hasn't shown any interest to do any work on that intersection. I don't see a need. It gets congested maybe twice a day, if you want to call it congested, but not really any safety concerns. So we don't have any plans to improve it, and these folks would just like to do a little house cleaning on their abstract and their title. And that's pretty much it. So today's discussion, you don't need to act on it. Usually for a vacation, we would have a hearing at the site, but I did a little more reading, and I found this under chapter 306.11, the bottom of the paragraph. If the proposed vacation is of part of road right-of-way held by an easement, which it is, and will not change the existing traveled portion, which it won't, of the road, or deny access to the road by adjoining landowners, a hearing is not required. So, we can still have a hearing if you want, but in my opinion, I say we can schedule something for next week.
Do like a resolution.
Yep. So give you guys something to think of, give you guys a week to think about it. Any questions or concerns, we have the week to talk about it. But other than that, I will probably get on the agenda to vacate by resolution next week. And what you're looking at, Tracy, would be the exhibit, vacation exhibit. So it's just vacating that little thing, and we would still retain our 50 feet and 50 feet. Nope, that's all I got. And any questions, I can run you through it.
So years ago, we own this part?
Yeah, and here's the funky thing. If you look at the date here,
Yeah.
this is where we purchased the curve. Now, in August of the same year, we purchased only 50 feet along those roads. And I talked with the surveyor, and I said, this just does not make sense. We can speculate what really happened back then, but the fact is that we do own an easement for that curve, and we never really needed it. Or we thought we needed it, but in the end, we decided we didn't want it. So,
Well, yeah. So there probably ain't a deed and abstract to go with that, correct?
what's that?
We don't own a deed and abstract to go with that.
No, all we need is that easement
Okay.
that was recorded, book and
Okay.
page.
Okay. 'Cause I was wondering, it would be easier if we go with a quick claim, but if we don't got a deed and abstract, we don't need it.
No, I don't think, it's just,
Okay, okay.
and just for transparency's sake, we do run across this when, say we're doing a bridge project, and I do the right-of-way research, and I'll say, I go to buy right-of-way, and then more digging I do is, oh, we already own that. Probably a handful of times I've come across that. In that instance, the county has retained that right-of-way, and so we don't have to purchase it twice. But in this situation, the folks have already spent their money on a surveyor, and this just came up, and in my opinion, if we really wanted it, we would have done something by now. And they spent the money to have the survey done, so in my opinion, fair is fair. If they've been taking care of it, we've had no interest in it. Let's just vacate it and take care of it.
Okay. Do you have another extra copy?
Yep.
We'll leave that here for Rick, since he's not here to look at this too. All right. I'll put it over there in the cupboard by his stuff.
And I don't know, this is my first vacation.
Okay?
I don't know what chapter we execute that as.
We can look back
it's
at
easy.
one. Do you want me to give you an example of a resolution and we'll tweak it?
That'd be fine, but, yeah, at this point, 30611, you can just, if you wanna keep this.
Yep, I'll find one for us.
In case anyone wants to know why we didn't have a hearing, if you guys choose not to have a hearing, it's
Yeah,
our
we'll
option.
definitely put that wording in our resolution.
Okay. Pretty cut and dry, just cleaning up a title for some more folks.
No problem.
All right.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thanks.
Wonder how many other places in the county are like this.
Be interesting to see that north of Newhall on the curve.
I was just thinking of that myself. Got a waterway in there.
I don't know if Mark Pigeonot is actually coming or not, so we better wait.
Okay. Everything else is timed.
Here's his application, but I think he's
Okay.
coming. Is he coming to put it on? Got the big parade celebration this weekend, huh?
Oh, yeah, Mount Auburn last
The
week.
band was good. It's the nation's yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a good amount.
Did you go up Mount Auburn?
Pretty close to home, I might as well.
Exactly.
Actually, the parade was actually pretty good for Mount Auburn too.
I heard.
Rick's sick. At least he's not here sharing the love with us.
Times change, that's for sure. Used to be able to go to a local hardware store and buy dynamite.
Do you have Jerry Petermeyer's cell phone at all?
Hmm?
Do you have Jerry Petermeyer's cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
That's his number, we can call him and tell him. I don't have his cell phone. You sure when I talk to him? He might talk your leg off though. Four, 6, 8, 9, 5, 6, 4. Okay, I will let him. Been out there at the county home to meet for a while either.
I've never been out there
Yeah, that's what,
officially.
because of
county
COVID
home.
and stuff, but we usually go out there once a year and meet.
You have never been out there?
Not officially.
You're missing out.
No.
So that's probably where we'll have our meeting with them. Usually we do that sometimes we meet out there at 8 in the morning before you guys come back here.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad, I didn't have mine on set.
Geez, that was in 1980.
When's your next mental health meeting? Because they want to come and update the board that May hinging, so I'm gonna put it on next week.
It's early this month.
Okay. Did you guys vote on your legislative priorities? Any of you? It's the last call for you guys to vote on that. Do you get those emails, don't you, from ISAC?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of important. I always vote for, every county gets this.
Just like now, I just got one for aerial advantage mosquito management. Delete.
There's been a lot of solicitors because they know we're getting that money.
Yeah. Okay, last call for
Some of them are very
delete.
pushy. They'll like set up a meeting and send it to your contact. And
Just like the guy that called here this morning before we started. Nothing upsets me more is when somebody acts like they know me, like we're close personal friends. I take it Myron must be coming in too then.
yep, he's got a couple. He already sent me the resolutions. So.
Okay.
Regional Governing Board meeting will be 18th of August this month.
Okay, well, she's coming on the 7th of September, so we should be fine. So then she'll probably update the board too. I should have the taxes posted today to Melinda, so. Trying to beat the other counties to the mailing services, because all 99 counties are this late doing them, so.
Years past, all that Veterans Affair deal, didn't all three of us sign before?
Sign the report.
Yeah.
Yeah, like their quarterly and stuff.
No, not the reports, the veterans exemptions that I did last
Oh, the
week.
disabled? No, it's usually just the chairman.
Really?
But you guys make that motion in here, and then the chairman signs on that form.
Hey, okay. I thought we did it before, all three, because it just said supervisors on the
Nope.
forms.
You
I
need to
would
check the
move
date.
that, I'm sorry. We approve the fireworks permit.
Evidently Mark ain't gonna be here, so.
Okay, then go ahead, I would say.
Okay, we gotta. Mark, pick a nut?
Yep.
Okay. Gary made a motion. Do I have a second from you, Rick?
As long as all the paperwork's in order, you sure do.
Yep, it's here. He's got
Okay.
everything for the last couple of years that they've done it even.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, all in favor of approving the fireworks permit for the date of July?
No, it's September 18th.
September when?
18th.
18th, okay.
Aye.
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 Hey, guys.
Kristen?
Hello.
Good.
Thanks. I printed one too. So
Huh?
I printed that one you sent me.
Yes, I do too. We probably have to wait till right at 10:50, don't we?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Timed item, sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
We've been breezing through today.
Yeah.
Are we gonna take that down to the food pantry when we're done? Or,
My personal opinion, I'd say we take it to the dumpster.
I know, cause it looks like it's been, there was ants on it too, so. I kind of agree.
We come in here this morning, Rick, and by the door on the outside on the stoop, there's a cardboard box and a sack there of household groceries there. A lot of the things have been opened up and used.
Really?
Yeah.
It was strange.
So I don't know if somebody was cleaning their house out or whatever, but myself, there's canned goods in there, but I suppose the canned goods would be all right.
I'm sure the canned goods would be, but anything else is, probably needs to be tossed.
Yeah, there
Because
was
they
like
even
Oatmeal
got
in a Ziploc
boxes
bag.
of, plastic forks and spoons, and half of them are gone. Oatmeal's in a plastic bag,
2 months to do that.
and not from the factory either.
Bring them. I love it.
So I think,
It's good, but yeah, that works.
I think we'll just, the ladies can look at it, they can make the decision.
I guess Mark went to the courthouse Pigeonot instead of here.
Oh,
So-
here he is right
Yeah, I
now.
bet he's coming in now.
You're too late.
They approved
You
it.
missed your line.
Fair enough.
We passed it.
Wonderful questions, concerns?
Did you go to the courthouse, I heard?
Well, that's my mistake.
It's-
Do better.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
We should have reminded you the other day when you were in.
Not a problem. Thank you. Appreciate it. Terminus will appreciate it. We'll get out of here.
Okay,
Fine.
thanks, Mark.
Thank you all.
See ya.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Alrighty, so I brought you gentlemen a copy of Lindsay's contract. The salary is what was discussed when she was hired on July 1st. It's actually pretty much the same as Rick Wood's contract in terms of vacation, sick leave, insurance. There's really nothing fancy or frivolous on there. So it's just pretty basic, get her in the door contract, so. And the one you have, Tracy, is the one we'll have you sign, and then we'll pass it around. Mona couldn't be here, so I'm gonna have her sign it later, but she had me come in her place, so.
Okay,
So this will be by resolution too.
okay.
I apologize, I didn't know Rick was gonna be on the phone. If you wanna let him know, it's pretty much the same as Rick Woods.
Okay.
I can forward you a copy, Rick, if you want,
That would be fine, thank you.
if you're on your computer.
And I was told I only need Tracy's signature from the board once you guys do your approval, so instead of making everybody sign, I just left your signature on there, so. That works since Rick's not here.
Okay. Do I have a motion then to accept the contract with Lindsay U-Paul?
So moved.
Rick?
I'll second that.
Okay. By resolution, so
Beershank, aye.
Trevor, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Thanks, folks. I'll have you sign it too. Oh. She's like, what's the big deal? You just sign it in my office. Okay, sounds good. Thanks, folks.
Yes,
See you,
welcome
Lindsay.
back.
Thank you. Yes. Okay.
Hi, Rick. You can talk if you want, if you have something.
We
Yeah.
got 10 minutes, 9 minutes.
Oh, I was just here for you to discuss that faucet. I wanted to hear what was going on with it.
Oh, okay, good.
I thought I'd like to know something about it.
Me too.
I'm the man with the information. Yeah, last day's tomorrow. Just look over. Of course I do. Yeah, take a picture of rising stars. Who do you have? It's, Freedom Taylor, your name. Your name and. If you want stuff, it'll yeah. Oh, you mean over here? Oh, or old school, yeah, Lydia, it's Lydia Reg. And, voting districts. So it's, 5 for part-time, really good one.
So now, where did you,
I thought you were talking about Rising Stars. Interesting.
So how's it going?
It's all right, so far it's different.
Overwhelming?
In all honesty, that part, the part that to me is different is getting used to the, how you purchase and things like that. I mean, that's different for me, that's.
He has a boiler part that he needed that was under 500, so I said, no, that kind of stuff you go right ahead and do. You can tell him about the tools and stuff you want to do.
Yeah, the tools, walking, I'm gonna tell you, I've never walked into a government facility that has never had any tools. No, they have always had more, they've had more tools than they ever used, everyone ever. And
to go there and have 2 pipe wrenches, 2 crest wrenches, a hammer, and some screwdrivers. I mean, it's like, I don't know how, I mean, they did do it, you couldn't have done anything, there's no way.
That's why I was asking you earlier about if you had your own tools to bring.
That just floored me. It's like, you know, they always, you had boilers you had to work on and stuff, but he must have did just, you know, what he could do and, you know, called everybody else to do whatever. You know, just like basic supplies for your flush valves. There's none of that is in there. There's, you know, and that's dumb to call your plumber to buy the parts from them. So I'm trying to get an account set up with warehouse in Cedar Rapids.
Plum supply?
Well, I'm gonna deal out of Ferguson. That's who I was last dealing with up at Ralph School. I like them, so. Otherwise, I dealt with Plum Supply for years when I worked for a season. So, but it's just, it's different. And then there's not near as much mechanical stuff going on up there as what I had every day up at the school. But learning,
Good. Good.
walk around, seems the same, it just takes time.
So I sprayed weeds today.
Yeah, I sprayed weeds today. I didn't realize weeds went dormant when it got so hot, or they wouldn't suck that spray, and Justin told me that. I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So today is a perfect day to walk around in the morning before everybody got there and start spraying.
Hey Greg, while you're in here, I have that child care resource referral Tracy Ehlert called. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
They want to use this room on Tuesday nights
Oh,
for the child care or something, kind of a training.
okay,
Are you going to be in attendance on that?
I can be.
Well, I just didn't know because it's after hours if they wanted to be able to use this. How do you guys feel on that? It'd be on Tuesday nights from like 6 to 8:30 p.m.
It's for the county?
Well, is it through the Ag Extension?
Well, they
They
partnered with us.
partnered with
It's
them.
their deal.
So I didn't know who would be responsible letting them in, but they'd asked to use that for like 10 weeks, and it's on Tuesday nights, starting
And
September
their
21st.
history is they sign up for it, and then they never have anybody that signs up. So, but I would be glad to be responsible for them, is what I'm saying.
Okay, like if they needed to let in
Yep,
and stuff?
yep.
Okay.
Because I think my key still works. I know that this door has changed, hasn't it? I don't think this door works anymore.
It will. This could come back. If we leave the security guard, make sure that he knows about it, that he leaves the deadbolt
Yeah.
off.
Well, but I still have a key to this one anyway.
And
Right,
the
but then
door.
you can't get in that door though, because that door automatically
Oh.
locks.
Do you have a key to this conference room from this side?
No, I have a key to the front door.
I'll probably have to get you one that'll get you in that door.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might be easier. Then I don't have to remember the security guard. You
Right,
guys
for the
figured that
deadbolt.
out.
Mhm.
So, because I used to use that one, but if you lock it, I totally understand. It's not
Yeah.
a big deal.
Well, I will call her back, but I wanted you guys' blessing before we did that and get her on reserve.
And I'll, like I say, I'll be responsible for her. It's somebody, but the history again has been that they ask for it and then they,
Don't.
and it's childcare, it's childcare people in the community in Benton County, and they put on trainings, but it's a voluntary, so people have to show up, and
Mhm.
oftentimes they don't get registrations for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
She
But I'd be
called
more than happy to be
yesterday, so.
responsible. But you might want to send me the dates, because she communicated with me, but I said you need to talk
Yep.
directly to you.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And it wasn't to start till September 21st.
I have no problem with it, Gary. Rick?
No problem.
Okay, there you go, but you'll be in charge
I will
of
be responsible.
locking and unlocking.
Right.
Good. So we know who to lynch.
Well, yeah, if something happens, yes, absolutely, I get that.
Well, and they might not even end up using it like you said, so.
Okay. Okay, all right. Greg, go ahead and start your spiel.
Well, I just wanted to meet with you. By the way, I'm Greg Walston. Oh, I'm Rick White. It's nice to meet you. I'm County Director of Benton County ISU Extension and Outreach, and also affiliated with these guys out here called Old School Produce Partners. I have three things today I wanted to talk about. I only had one on the agenda, but the first thing was Mike Elwick and I talked about potentially putting a frost-free faucet out here versus the one we currently have. It has to be drained back
and I had never done it before. Mike knows how to do it, and I know Mr. Bramo did too. Anyway, it needs to be drained back, and what we're trying to figure out is how to not have to have that maintenance for you guys, and also potentially use a faucet that we could use during the winter. And so Mike said, and I bought them myself, you can buy those frost-free where they drain back, or not drain back, but the valve is, what, a foot or 16 inches in? And we would, I think they're not very expensive, we would gladly buy that, and then, but we would need, obviously, you guys' help to install it, and that might not hurt for you to know where it's at and things like that. I just want to get it done before winter so that we're ready for it. And we talked at our meeting the other night, and our old school is an official nonprofit. We operate on our own, but they also operate through us as an extension office. So, and what we do is we donate produce. All the produce that we grow out here gets donated to food pantries. That was number 2, was to give you an update on what the garden's doing. The garden is, we've finished with our first round of kohlrabi, and we've delivered that to mainly the food pantry here. We've delivered a little bit in the southern part of the county, and now we're starting on onions. We have about 12,000 onions that we've got out of the ground, and they're drying and being ready. And first batch is going to the Benton Food Pantry, or the Benton Food Pantry today, and I think Belle Plains coming up today to pick up some as well. Our tomatoes are also starting, and they'll be, as long as we don't get a derecho like we did last year, we'll be okay and have a pretty decent crop of tomatoes. Potatoes, we got them in early enough that mid-August or late part of August, we will start harvesting them as well, and we have about 300 potato plants. So I'm hoping they develop really well. And we also ran out of space here and snitched some of our space that we have can use from the city on that third garden. So we have about 15 beds down there that we're using. They're small beds, but that we're going to steal, or we're going to harvest potatoes off of there too. So, and then carrots we planted them late intentionally because we were thinking we were going to try and avoid the weeds. Well, good luck with that. We didn't get that done. So anyway, so carrots will be coming on, and that'll be and then the 2 squashes, and that'll pretty much wrap up the year. So our intention is, we were at 8,500 pounds of food last year. We hope to make between 10 and 12,000 pounds of food to donate to food pantries. And as like last year, we will do at least 8 or 9 within Benton County, and then 1 or 2 in Iowa County. We've hooked up with Williamsburg and Marengo, and they seem to have a need that we can provide too. The other thing that's going on, we are involved in a group called the Gleaning Group, which is a group throughout the state, and you connect with farmers market suppliers, producers, and if they have extra produce left over, potentially they could bring it to us and we would help distribute it. So we have just started that process, and I don't know what that's going to look like, but I want you to be aware that we're trying to, anything we can do to up our amount and get it to people that need it, well, that's what we're all about. So, but I apologize, I didn't give you a chance to, are you okay with the discussion on the faucet, or did I need to shut up and you had to?
Nope.
Okay, all right. And then the third thing is, Tracy, you and I, and just in general, have you had more discussion about the fence?
No.
Okay, and I'm not putting any pressure on you at all, I'm just asking. So, Wayne, Shannon and I came and trimmed a couple of trees that were hanging down last night. We didn't have a real great ladder, so we couldn't get up very high, but we did trim a couple that were being pesky for us. And then, but whenever, with whatever input you would like from us, I will definitely give you input. Because we'd like to have a double gate if we can, because potentially sometimes we bring in a bigger piece of equipment. And, but we have no preference as far as how it goes. I know you and I talked about potentially having it out this way from the trees so that you could mow around it, mow around the trees, and we would be more than happy to continue that.
Okay.
So, and then our mowing is, we mow everything inside the fence, and then the county takes care of everything outside the fence. And so, yeah.
With regard to the frost-free faucet, you can't have a hose on there when it gets cold, otherwise it'll break.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. I've done that before and broken. So.
I've fixed a lot of them from that in years.
Yeah.
My opinion though, I'd run them both yet. My personal opinion.
Okay,
The reason why is that if you put a new hose cock on the outside here, my opinion, the biggest one you can get is like about 3/4 or 5/8 is the biggest one you can get. Right now, if I remember right, you got like an inch, at least an inch, if not an 1.25 line coming out of here. So you have more volume of water
Yeah,
coming out
maybe-
of
maybe
your
that'd
black.
be too restrictive.
Yes.
You're gonna lose,
Gain pressure but lose
yeah,
volume.
you're gonna
Yes.
lose your volume.
Okay,
Yes.
You're gonna lose it big time, you're gonna cut it way down.
well,
So-
then
Because what are you running off, what's it running off right now?
They're watering the garden with it.
we're using an irrigation
But
system.
is it a post out there, is it a post or hydrant or?
No,
Drip.
it's on ground.
It's
and
a
you
drip
can come Look
system.
at it when you have
Okay.
time. It's a fairly
Yeah.
big blue hose that runs across the.
But the
bed.
hydrant itself, you're feeding that off of, what's that? Is it fed directly or? is it-
Yes.
Fed directly from the
Yes.
building.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
if I'm understanding, we have a meter somewhere,
Yes.
because
What
we get billed for the water that we use. which
Yep.
is
used to
fine.
be outside here, but I think we moved it down here in the pit.
Yeah, so.
See, that's how they would drain it. They'd disconnect the,
Down at the meter.
yes,
drain
yeah.
back.
And to me, you know, I guess what I would have done years past here is I would have put a hose bib in the basement, like on a T. So when you turn the ball valve off to shut it off here in the pit in the basement, you could open up that pit cock and she'd drain all down back in it without actually taking the black PVC pipe,
Yeah.
you know, off the
I
hose
always-
bar.
I always would tee that stuff and put a ball valve on.
Yeah.
Besides I had a drain back. on.
Yeah, yeah, to me that would be a lot simpler than,
So what you're saying is we could still have the volume, but we could drain back that side.
yes,
Would just require
It just-
T to be shut off in here.
yeah. Yeah,
And
that,
then, but then we could still have the drain, or the,
I'd still put that, yeah, I'd still put that in there, so, yeah, when it gets down to, you know, the 28, 29, when it starts freezing at night, you'd shut that off, but you'd still have accessibility of water when you wanted it, when it's getting to where it's freezing at
'Cause
night.
I mean, I can tap that line, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
We can just, you can have your other faucet there if you, when you need it.
okay.
We can just, but we'll make a bypass so that way you can block one off. and-
Do you want my cell phone number, so when you're ready or whatever?
I need to see what it is
Yeah.
first. I wanna see-
But I'd give him your cell phone, you know, back and forth.
Okay. So-
Don't have to
If
do
you're
it.
okay with that.
Yeah, but you guys want me to do it then, okay?
I would just as soon you do
Okay.
it.
No, I don't have an issue with it. I just want, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah,
Because I didn't
yeah,
know
no.
somebody else was coming in
No,
and.
as long as you're willing to do it,
Yeah, I just wanna see what it is.
and they'll flip the bill for the, you know, the,
And we'll do the frost-free part.
Yeah.
You guys will do the rest. That's okay.
in fact, I got them on hand, so.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't have a problem. That's my thing. I gotta get some tools bought so I can do it though.
Right,
Okay.
And so that's what I'm telling you guys.
Okay,
I mean, I have some I can use. We gotta get some tools down there. So.
mhm, mhm.
Not go drastically crazy, but I just need some basic stuff, so.
Okay,
Well, that's good. I'll give you, before I leave, I'll give you my cell phone number, and then you can call me, and then, well, I have to get yours too, so I make sure I know, don't think it's a spam call or
Yeah.
whatever.
you could help him out.
I told him like we have account at Tyson's.
I know, but what I'm saying is that help him out. How much did Rick have, anything in his budget figured in on
Well,
tools?
that's kind of what I talked to him. He didn't have a whole lot in those line items, but we have other cushions, so
They had $200.
Yeah. in that line item. But and overall in that
Okay,
department,
And Justin, well, I don't know where that's, cause Justin bought that power drill, the battery operated drill and impact driver. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's coming out of that.
his will definitely be in our amendment to give more spending authority in that area.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
We just need something, cause they're
Yep.
just.
Yep.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah, no.
But
no,
for
no,
now,
no, no.
he's fine. He's not gonna. You're within on other line items, so like I told you.
Yeah, it's just, I can get pretty much what I need for screwdrivers and wrenches and pliers, I can get them from Tyson. I'm not picky on that stuff.
Mhm.
The only thing I get pickier on is like pipe wrenches.
Rigid,
I've learned through the years, there's a difference in pipe wrenches.
yep,
I'm
China,
not gonna.
China or
You gotta use
Taiwan?
them, there's a difference in pipe wrenches.
Right.
And when I got a 2 or 4 foot cheater on one, there's a difference in pipe friction.
When they break.
Or your knuckles start cracking up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one other thing I need to talk, Dave Thompson, we haven't gotten our official lease yet,
Okay.
so,
We kinda run into a snag on that.
okay,
Okay, I think we're gonna keep going, if it's all right with you, every year.
that's fine.
Because
But if you do the 5-year, then you have to do the public notices and stuff.
Oh,
we don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
Cause we could have somebody else slip in here.
right, yeah, I'm fine with that, sure.
You're good with that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I haven't
That,
done anything.
yeah, that's the last I heard,
Didn't know
that
that.
we have to open it up
Yeah.
for anybody else.
Okay, well, I'm good with that then.
Good.
Just have him write me up, or write us up for 1 year, and I'm, and the good news is, at least we have it, that you
We're
feel
good
comfortable
for
enough
right
with us
now.
that 5 years is, and that's an unspoken, well, I guess it was in the minutes, but, right. That was my main thing, was,
Yeah.
are you comfortable enough with us, are we doing okay?
Yep.
We,
Yep.
kind of.
If you get a supervisor to put your chain link fence back, you'd be
Well,
better.
it's okay. And even that meeting, I was sick when I was feeling kind of rough. I'm glad I didn't show up because I was feeling like crap that day. And so I was glad I was able to do it via Zoom or whatever. That's back in February. So, but I needed to get it done so that we could say, okay, guys, we can move ahead.
Okay. All right.
Cool. All right.
Well, that's all I had.
I'll let you guys switch numbers and then, Rick, if you want a hand on that, have Justin come over. I don't know if Justin knows that much about the building because the pit, well, we'll talk later. How's that sound?
Oh, that's fine.
I gotta come up here tomorrow afternoon, so maybe I'll call you after I get done meeting with the guys from WMA.
That's fine.
And if you got time in the afternoon, say 2:30, 3 o'clock,
Yeah, just call and
Okay.
we'll make it work.
done deal.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep, that's great.
Myron, long time no see.
It's only been a couple weeks this time, it was a month the last time I was here. It was hot, but all outside sweating, so I was keeping my distance.
Okay, good.
Plenty of outdoor projects going on, so.
See, that one got started. No,
Yeah.
no. Thank you.
It was,
I know.
none of what you sent me is part of the
I
changes.
know. I knew it was in the works, so.
Mhm.
So when you get a cost, just, yeah, we'll work on that.
So what do you
Close
got?
enough?
Yep, yeah, we're past. We were,
Oh, it's 10:15.
oh, you're right, it is 10:15. I got you mixed up.
Straightforward, I guess. I don't think it'll make that big of a difference.
No.
Map wise, if it helps. I know, Gary knows probably, but down here, northeast of Belle Plaine, 14th Avenue, 76th Street, Lyle Sheets lives on the east end of that dirt road. Just west of his place, on that dirt road, there is a wood bridge. It's been 10 tons for quite some time. If you've been on that road here in the last 3 weeks, you don't see a wood bridge there no more. You find a railroad tank car there instead. So that 10-ton weight limit is no longer needed at that structure because we tore that bridge out and pulled a 9 or 10 foot diameter rail tank car in there here recently. So I have a resolution here to remove that weight limit from that structure, so that wouldn't be on our map anymore.
Okay, resolution?
Yes.
Okay.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Yeah, we do. All in favor by resolution?
Beer Shank aye.
Seaman, aye.
And Primer, aye.
Question for you, west of Newhall. Can you put one of them in there on that dirt road?
Unless you got a funny bohemian tape measure of some sort, I can only get about 6 feet from the road to the bottom of the stream. And it would take about that same 9-10 foot diameter rail tank car to go in there. So
Really?
So what do you need for a tape measure?
I've stopped there a couple times and it's barely 6 feet from the road surface to the stream bed. And anything more than that, you're just gonna put a hump in the road and you're really defeating purpose, because then it'd still have to just go around. Yeah, that'd be great.
I know the neighbors are complaining about it, and harvest coming on, they're worried about bringing them Brent wagons across that bridge, and I said, well, I can't see sticking $300,000 or $400,000 into a dirt road bridge.
No, I'm trying to, don't know if modified low water crossing, that might be
That's what I was wondering about, like you
maybe a
did.
couple of, not so much that I have done, but I know Lynn County has done. They've got it over by the Center Point Quarry. A couple tubes, and then they tapered the ends and they made a concrete, actually it might be similar to what the city of Benton has out on the sidewalk over by the Ball Diamond. That is a tube that'll take low flow stuff, but it's tapered concrete over it, that when the water does come up, it goes over that and doesn't wash everything out. Might be a possibility idea there.
Okay.
That makes
Because
sense.
otherwise, I think to put a concrete box culvert there, which could be done, and regardless if you brought in precast sections or if you hired a contractor to do a cast in place, you still got probably more cost than we're thinking at this point. So I don't know, the other, I say a tank car was what I was, thinking, or the round rail ones, but yeah, based on the drainage area and how we have sized most things to accommodate a 4-inch rain, it's gonna take a bigger structure, height-wise, doing it with round.
Okay.
So you're stuck with rectangle if you were gonna build it to that approach, where it would take just about every rain that you get outside of a flood event. Or do you do a low water structure of some sort, different from our beam and slab bridge that Peter Meyer came up with years ago, that we've done in the past, haven't done some recently, but those are designed to go over top on a heavy rain or flood event, and allows you to utilize that road when you've got moderate or low flow conditions.
It's a dirt road. I mean,
Well, I would
This
say
year, as
that-
dry as it is, you could have probably taken it out and tapered it and just drove through it. You wouldn't
Yeah.
have a problem, but in the average year and above average years, that wouldn't work.
Right. See, I didn't know if you could even put like a cement culvert in there, a bigger one. Just throwing ideas out. This is your expertise, not mine.
maybe 2 or
Just-
3 of them.
It's just been time. I could say the ideas rattle in my head a little bit. I'm driving to and from, and I get to the office and there's 80 million things going on right now.
Okay.
Those bridges on them roads west of Newhall there, they've been in disrepair for a long time.
Okay, what else you got?
Another resolution, same basic thing, but north of Benton,
Okay.
north of Hummel's Curves, 24th Avenue Drive, north of what Coots was looking at from a sand pit standpoint. That bridge has been closed and decks poured, the rails poured, there's 4 end posts that needed to be done and some dirt work, but that all could potentially happen before the end of the week.
Okay.
That one used to have a 5-ton weight limit on it, which is why we replaced it. It's due to open within the week probably, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get that
old bridge embargo removed from that bridge, so when it's ready to open, it doesn't have a restriction on it. So,
Okay.
resolution to remove that bridge embargo on that bridge.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay. All in favor by resolution?
Deershank, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Aye.
That's all I really have. Haley was just commenting earlier, but last week, just south of Benton, 64th Street Drive, the residents that were in last year wanting to pursue doing a seal coat out there, we started putting the macadam stone down last week and hoping to finish placing that stone this week. As dry as it's been, the material coming from the quarry is so dry, so we ended up putting a water truck on it yesterday.
I was gonna say it was wet when I come up here this morning. So.
Yeah, I needed some moisture to help pack things together because we had some soft spot issues, and afraid with more trucks later this week it was gonna cause us more grief than good. And so we're working on that yesterday and today.
Okay, next question I have for you. The Pelling bill for $66,000.
Yeah.
Have you, made a phone call to,
I sent an email to Boomerang representative. I hadn't heard back from him, and I was gonna try him this morning because it jogged my memory again that I hadn't seen anything, and
okay,
10 o'clock got here quicker than I thought.
okay,
Anticipating your question, and hoping I had more of an answer, than, no, I haven't heard back from them. But,
okay, all right. Rattle his cage. Okay,
Out of sight, out of mind. I'd like to think not. I wasn't sure if he's been as busy as we have and just hasn't got back to me or not, but, because I know they've been enjoying this dry weather and getting work done just by the nature of what they do, so.
okay. Sounds good.
I'd like to think how long the individual I'm contacting I've known and worked with, that it's a busyness standpoint, not a hesitancy for any other reason.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Enjoy the cooler day.
I am.
Supposed to start going back up though, isn't it? Getting more.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the weekend it'll be back to cool weather.
Yeah,
That's probably where I'll be.
Yep.
all right.
Motion to
I
adjourn.
think we're done unless you guys
Okay.
have anything for next week other than that. I put that back on.
That's the only thing that I can think of right now. So I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
You sure do.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. See you, Rick, get better.